I understand what everybody will say, but the truth is, when those corrections happen, they can be quite shocking. And the last time we've seen the house prices be as unaffordable as they are right now was just before the 1929 depression, which is a tricky situation to sort of live into. And like I say, I don't want to be seen to be doom and gloom here, but let's talk about another post that I saw going around on the internet this last week or so, which was in relation to this whole idea. I'm sure you will have seen the post, but if you haven't, the post was being shared by many different agents across the country, and this post tended to suggest that even though interest rates are high, if you held onto your property and you bought into property at a time when interest rates were high, then what would happen is that over the period of time, house prices would go up over 9,500%, okay, over the course of about 50 years. And the real challenge, or the real problem I have with something like that going viral and going out there onto the internet and people sharing it as though it's the truth, is that it overlooks a major part about why house prices went up 9,500%, okay, over the course of about 50 odd years. And it is not to do with interest rates at all, okay? It's to do with money supply, okay? And if you look at what happened off the back of the Second World War and the moving away, or moving the money supply away from being a gold-backed currency to becoming a fiat currency, which is based on confidence of the nation rather than actually being backed by anything tangible, then what happens is you end up in a situation where effectively you press go on the printing press and you print as much money as you want, and that artificially inflates the asset price of everything, okay? And that's essentially what's happened since about the 1960s, is that we've had this huge asset bubble. And then if you look at what happened from 2008 into 2020, and then again in 2020 when we had the pandemic, okay, we just kept printing more and more and more and more and more. And that's got to go somewhere, right? So all of this money is going into, well, it's not money, it's fiat currency, but all that's going into these various different assets across the world and artificially inflating the prices. And this might seem a little bit technical and a little bit kind of, not something we want to be really getting into on these sort of webinars. But if you're in any doubt as to what's going on right now, I really highly encourage you to do one of two things. That would be to watch The Big Short, the movie The Big Short, because not only do I love that movie, it kind of gives you an idea about what was actually going on in the marketplace and, again, what's happening at the moment. And secondly, if you're interested in really deep diving into all of this and getting a real understanding of what's going on, which I encourage every agent watching this to do, because you need to be informed, not only for the sake of your own business and your own livelihood, but also to be informed when it comes to talking to your clients, because very often, they might know a little bit more than you think they do, and they're not going to be swayed by the sharing of a few memes on the internet that suggest that house prices are going to go up 9,500% over the next 50 years. Okay, so I would encourage you to look up Mike Maloney on YouTube and watch his, I think it's called The Secrets of Money or The History of Money or something of that nature. But if you go onto YouTube, type Mike Maloney in, loads of videos will come up from him, and you'll be really interested to see what's actually going on behind the scenes of the banking industry right now, both in this country and in the US. It is quite shocking, to say the least, and I do expect another cataclysmic fallout. You can already see the sort of warning signs happening on the international markets, and that will undoubtedly have an impact on us. So I think we need to be really sensible about how the market's going to unfold over the course of the next few years and prepare for the worst. And that's just my take. I'm happy to hold my hand up and be proved wrong. Okay, I'll happily, take it on the chin if I'm wrong here. But as well as I do, something's not right. You know in your gut that the market has changed drastically. It's going to continue to change, especially if interest rates go up in the early part of the new year, which I'm expecting to happen because of Christmas inflation or something of that nature. I think we need to be really, really careful about what's going on. And we need to back ourselves and bet on ourselves that we're going to craft a really good business that works for us and we're going to hopefully avoid some of these challenges in the marketplace, but that can only be done by being smarter than your competition. Okay, and if you want any help and support on that, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk. That's happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk. We can have a conversation. I can sort of share my 2 pennies, as I'm doing with a number of coaching clients right now who are seeing phenomenal results in the marketplace. And the reason for that is because let's put it this way. The thing I love about coaching and mentoring with people is that you can very often find that you're dealing with high-performing people, okay, and they might not be getting the results that they want in their life, but that is usually because of some kind of subconscious block, okay, or some kind of emotional roadblock or something of that nature. And very often, in the strength of a 1-hour phone call or a Zoom meeting, for example, that block can get removed, and then they can go on and achieve absolute mastery in their business and some phenomenal results. And everybody looks at you and goes, well, you know, I don't believe that you can achieve that result in that short period of time, but they're not open themselves to the whole idea of what can be created within themselves and their business if they were to just tune into a different way of doing things. Okay, so that's what I'm enjoying working with a number of agents on that basis now, because we can really help them get those amazing results, because they're already superstars. Okay, you're already a superstar agent if you're watching this. Okay, we just help to remove 1 or 2 of those barriers to help you to go to where you need to be and create an amazing business for yourself, an amazing future. Okay, and to start to live the lifestyle that you really want to, because you know you've got rid of those subconscious blocks and all the rest of it. And very often it's so difficult for us to see them. We just know that something's not quite right, or there's something kind of holding us back. But once that barrier's gone, boom, you can go off and create magic in your life, which I absolutely love doing with people. So if you feel like you're struggling a little bit and you want a bit of support, I don't believe in saying that. I always say if you want a little bit of help, but people don't need help, right? They don't need help in their business. They just need a bit of support. And I think it's just one of those things. If you can open yourself up to a different way of thinking and a different way of doing things, then boom, you're going to create absolute magic in your life. So that's just a few thoughts from me, guys and girls. As I say, if you want any help on that, reach out to me. Happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk. That's happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk. And it'll be my pleasure to support you as much as we possibly can. So thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of today's amazing webinar. Really appreciate you, your time and your attention as we've gone through this today. It's been great to get back in the saddle and start doing more and more of these webinars and start answering all of your questions. So don't forget, if you've got a question that's related to the property industry that you want answering, whether you're an estate agent, letting agent, surveyor, solicitor, buyer, seller, or anybody else connected with the industry, mortgage broker, for example, then feel free to send your question in to us. You can reach us via email, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. Or you can find us on the social media channels. You'll just search for @WiggyWam_UK. That's @WiggyWam_UK. And you'll find us on you'll find us on Twitter. You'll find us on TikTok. You'll find us on Instagram. You'll find us on Facebook. You'll find me on LinkedIn. Just shoot us your questions, send them through to us, and it'll be our delight to actually work with you, get these questions answered for you. And if you need any consultation or any kind of support around anything that you're doing, then again, just feel free to reach out to me and we'll support you and help you as much as we possibly can. So thanks once again for being part of this today. Really appreciate your time, care and attention, and I look forward to seeing you on another webinar very soon. Take care.